This is a Psion Organiser with its case off, and you can see that it's a couple of PCBs with an LCD on the front, and the slot connectors here and here, and there's a bit of a plastic frame there to hold the top slot hardware when it's plugged in, contrast knob. So I thought, well, let's try and update it a bit, have a bit of fun, and try recreating this part of the organiser, the main electronics and the power board, and just update it a little bit so maybe it can become a little bit more useful. It's really just an exercise to see if I can build a platform to create new code on. So, from my PCB suppliers, I've got these boards, and these mirror the two boards. There's the main board and there's the power supply and slot board, and I've made them the same shape, so there's a cutout there for the crystal, even though I'm not going to use a crystal like that for the well, and also there's one of my boards with the LCD on, but I'm not going to use an LCD. You can see there's no zebra strip contacts. That's the Psion. I haven't got the contacts because I'm going to use an OLED display. So these two will sandwich together like that, just like they do in the original, and different components will be put on the board. I've made space for Raspberry Pi Pico, which just fits between the edge of the case and that screw hole there, and I've also got a footprint here for a Wi-Fi module, so that's a Wi-Fi Bluetooth module, and everything else, there's a power supply for the OLED display which will connect in there and sit somehow on the other side of the board. I'm not entirely sure how at the moment. That needs 12 volts, unfortunately. There's some hardware here to do GPIO expansion of the Pico, because there aren't enough GPIO lines on the Pico to actually drive everything we need. The slots are here, and some level shifting going on there for the slots, because they're 5 volts and the Pico's 3.3. A couple of chips here. These are 64K of flash, serial flash, to store everything. So you don't store it by having RAM chips that are battery backed up. You just write the whole thing to flash, and that will store that while the power's removed. So it does fit. We've got the power board here, which fits in here. Haven't tried slots, we can try those. Got some connectors, and the main board that fits in here with the keyboard on the other side of the PCB, so that keyboard fits there. Seems to work. I haven't tried it electrically. That next stage is to populate everything and get everything working, and as I go through, check that all the mechanicals work, so the slots actually allow you to put a data pack in there and all that sort of thing. So this is version 1. It's pretty good mechanically. Everything fits in the case, everything seems fine. There's a few problems that I've left out, some bits. Should be a hole here, somewhere around here, for this post here, to allow this sandwich to sort of fix together more mechanically securely, so through there, and I've left that hole out. I've left a couple of holes out here for the top slot plastic bracket. I don't think that's 100% necessary, and I'm not too bothered at the moment, but that fits on there like that, and that allows the big sort of plastic, big plastic finger to go in there and mechanically secure the top slot hardware. But at the moment it's more about electrical stuff. We need to populate it, see whether it works. It should do, because, well, I mean, I'm just soldering a Pico on there, so that's going to work. but the rest of it is a little bit more complicated. So these two boards are going to fit together not with a ribbon cable like that, but with headers, pin headers, and there's also actually more connectors. I've had to put some signals through here as well as here, because I wanted to make the main board a sort of processor type board which handles the display and keyboard, and then run out sort of general purpose I/O up to the other board. So this board can be swapped out. So if you don't want Wi-Fi, you want something else, you could make another board and drive that in a different way. So if you didn't want slots, you wanted an SD card socket there or something, you could do that and have an SD card in one of the slots or both of the slots, that sort of thing. So next stage, populate it.